But let's move on from the Pacers. We talked a bit about them. We're talking about an exciting guy here, Jalen Brunson. He has just blown away expectations. We thought he was an up-and-comer coming into the last couple seasons, but this year he ends up starting 61 out of 79 games, kind of out of nowhere, but being the crutch for Luka most of the season. And just last game, he ends up dropping 41 points and leading his team to a win over the Utah Jazz, just turning the NBA on its side.
Yeah, he's great. I've always said, and I will always keep saying it, that I loved him coming out of college, second-round pick. I was so surprised. But, he's great. I don't know if he can ever be a future All-Star just because I don't think he's going to be around a cast that would allow him to be the All-Star, you know what I mean? Like, he's very complimentary to others. I would not be surprised if he did.
I think he could squeak one out. I mean,
maybe one or two, yeah.
Don't you think Jalen Brunson can get to the talent level that Fred VanVleet is?
Yeah, that's right. I see him very much as a Fred VanVleet type player. But his play with the 41 points just proves the point we made early on when we were talking about Jalen Brunson and the Rockets, that this playing next to Luka probably is not the best suit. I mean, it's probably great to play next to Luka, but his skill set is to be in that Luka role. So to me, that main facilitator, that leader on the court. And that's why I see him moving on from the Mavericks, either in a sign and trade or just signing somewhere else in free agency. And I have three top teams that I'd like to see him. Maybe not, these aren't most likely. These are where I think he would excel best at. And I can let you know and see what you would think. So my third one we talked about is the Rockets. I think that would be great, and they could just straight up sign him. Or there's sign and trades in the works too if they would want to give up like Christian Wood or Eric Gordon in those trades. But I think he would be able to run the offense. He would take over, much like what they were trying to get KPJ to do this season. He would just take over. He would have everything. He'd get a guy like Jalen Green who fits next to him way better than Luka does. And that's nothing against Luka. Luka is a guy with the ball in his hands, and so is Jalen. So I think that would be great for him. I think I would love to see him on the Rockets. And he's not trying to... I mean, he could be trying to win right now, but he could also really excel that team and push them into not as much... push them out of their rebuild, where they have all these young assets and guys that can produce now. What do you think, Rockets?
Yeah, I mean, Rockets makes a ton of sense. We talked about that on our last show about Brunson. He has previous rapport with our boy Steven Silas over there, so that it's not going to be a strong learning curve to the offense or anything. And he can go in there, be a leader to a lot of these guys. He's been in the league a couple of years longer than Jalen Green and these other rookies they drafted this year, and Şengün, stuff like that. And he is perfect in getting the ball to the guys to get them open shots. And he takes pressure off of other guys just by, having them drawn out to him, especially on the 3-point line. So makes a lot of sense because he would improve Jalen Green. He would improve Jae'Sean Tate and Josh Christopher and these other guys, even the guys on the perimeter and the guys inside. I think it would just accelerate their rebuild.
Yeah, I think that would be awesome for them. And I don't think it will hurt their rebuild either. It's not like you're pulling in an all-star and suddenly like they're going to hijack the offense. I think he will help their offense.
Yeah. Well, either way, they have a top pick this year. Mm-hmm. So
yeah,
that doesn't change regardless of him. No. So that's good.
Yeah, you're right. My second team that I actually really like him to go to, and I think it's kind of interesting, is the Clippers. And I think they could get him in a sign and trade. So remember, in sign and trades, it is more in the player. The player has more control. So people say, like, in a sign and trade, like, the team wouldn't do that, but like the team will, if they think he's going to go somewhere, they will take whatever. If they know he's not going to sign with them, they're like, yeah, we'll take it, whatever. And I think
it's better that than pissing him off and then him going somewhere else where they couldn't get something back. So you might as well let him go where he wants. It's always how it works out.
Yeah. So the sign and trade, I think, would revolve around Morris and Reggie Jackson. And personally, I think Reggie Jackson would fit better next to Luka, as he plays more off ball now with Paul George anyway. And Reggie Jackson is a better shooter than Jalen Brunson, especially catch and shoot. So I think that would fit a lot better next to Luka. And Mavericks are kind of like that, where they're like, we don't doesn't seem like they're trying to get a star next to Luka. They're trying to get more complementary players, as you see with the trading Kristaps for Bertans and Dinwiddie, which worked out for them. And I think Morris and Reggie Jackson could fit better than Jalen Brunson does within the Mavericks. And obviously, Jalen Brunson would be that main primary playmaker that the Clippers have been looking for.
No, yeah, I think that would be awesome for both sides. If you're Dallas, I think you really hope you can get Norman Powell instead of those guys in the trade.
Yeah.
But maybe that's asking for too much. But if they can haggle long enough, maybe they can make it happen. But I'd still be happy with the combination of Reggie and Morris if I was Dallas, because, you know, they're two culture changers. They're guys who have been in the playoffs deep. They're going to protect Luka.
Solid bets.
And they're good. They're not bad players, to be honest with you. They can both hit their shots a lot of nights. So I don't think that would be bad for a guy you'd be losing no matter what.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And my final place.
Brunson is restricted too, so they can always, resign. We'll just put that out there.
Yeah, that's right. They could match if he's restricted, but players do have so much control now, and people are like, why don't you just sign it? Because you don't want to sign a player that doesn't want to be there. It only is bad for the culture. So that's what people don't always understand. If he doesn't want to be there, he's not gonna accept. He's gonna have to do it.
I think you're overvaluing that. They can always sign him and trade him later or something. Teams always want to get their value. Dallas would be asinine to let Brunson walk away for nothing, and I think they would rather match whatever contract he gets and try to trade him later than lose him for nothing. That's just how I see it.
Is he restricted? No, he's not a restricted. I didn't think he was anyway, because he was a second round pick.
Oh, because he's second? Oh, yeah. Shit. Okay, so throw that out the window. My bad. He's unrestricted, so Dallas was silly for not extending him before.
Yeah. It's a tough situation. But now, my final one, I don't think this is going to happen, but it's I think it would be perfect, is the Celtics. I think the Celtics could throw together any amount of salary, do what they can to get him. Obviously, we just talked about the Mavericks would if they're going to lose him for nothing, they'd take whatever. They'd take Al Horford and maybe some the slew of perimeter defenders the Celtics have gathered throughout the years, whether it be Grant Williams or whatever, and I think they'd just take that and roll with it. But I think Jalen would be that guy I keep talking about, that playmaker to run the offense. I think he would fit in seamlessly next to Tatum, Robert Williams, Jaylen Brown. I think that would be perfect. And next to Marcus Smart, he's a dog. They'd all fit. I think that'd be the perfect instant contenders for me. That's what would put the Celtics over the top.
No, that makes a lot of sense. I think that makes a ton of sense. It just depends on how much the Celtics value him, if they want to throw a huge contract at him, because I think it might become a bidding war for Jalen Brunson. But that's a great fit for both of them. They land their guy, a solid playmaker, a guy who can score at the point, and he's young. So he can, fit into this young crew that they have and really start a new dynasty.
Oh, yeah. And I just think it would be perfect. Yeah, young, you got nothing but time. You get him. He's got time to fit in and to be contenders, and they're all around from 25 to 23 or whatever. I don't know how old Jalen is, but they're all around that time. Another Jalen to add.
Yeah, the triple J's.
Triple J's. Jason,
and then they get Jaren Jackson, and then they be triple J's with triple J.
Then there's so many triple J.
Quadruple
J's with triple J. But that's my three. I think that those are all three preferred landing spots. If I were Jalen, I would want to go to all three of those places where they fit him better. He's not resorted to an off ball too, which he just isn't. And he's shown that he excels as the point guard, not the shooting guard next to Luka. So I'd like to see that.
Well, as we've seen in most free agents, they typically go for the money. And I don't know if every team's going to offer Jalen, crazy money, but a couple teams might. And one of the teams that I think will is the New York Knicks. I think they definitely are going to want to get Jalen Brunson in the door or into the building, because he instantly becomes a huge part of their offense, instantly becomes maybe their best offensive player, and really carries a lot of weight over there if he goes to New York. What do you think of that one?
I think, if I were Jalen, you get to definitely run. The offense is yours. He gets to come in and manipulate it the way he can. It's the Knicks. When was the last time they had a good point guard? Yeah,
maybe Marbury.
It's been a while since they had like a point guard as good as him. Kemba was that hope, didn't happen. Derrick Rose a few years ago was that hope, didn't happen. So whatever. I mean, like, I think it would be great. I don't think the Knicks will get him. Knicks never get anyone they want. So
one more, Detroit as a possible fit, as they want to accelerate their rebuild and get a solid playmaker next to Cade and kick Killian Hayes out the door.
I don't see that one. I feel like it falls into the same issue as the Mavericks. If I were Jalen, I wouldn't want to go there. Could the Pistons put money up for it to happen? Yeah. Could he accept it? Yeah. I just see Cade as very much the same type of playmaker as Luka, and I would see that as more redundant too. I don't see that as the best fit, but it could certainly happen if the Pistons are capable of paying him as much money. So
yeah, I saw reports that they were interested. I thought it was interesting too because of that same thing. It seems like Cade would be your Luka if you're the Detroit Pistons, but maybe they want to have two solid scorers there, and they're looking at what's in Dallas and like, oh, that looks good to us.
Yeah.
They're in the playoffs. That probably looks great to them.
Yeah, I mean, Pistons love giving as much money to like not the best player. Not that he's not the best player, but I can see them. If they could, they would probably give him a max because the Pistons. That's the Pistons.
So we'll see. Stupid money. Well, that's Jalen Brunson. So I think we'll move on from that.
Hey guys, like and subscribe to the video. If you guys have any ideas for videos, put them down below. If you guys want us to talk about a trade, put it below. Like, if you want us to talk about anything, put it below. Put anything below.